They're on the job now, Mrs. Davidson.
Good. I want them maintained until further notice.
Rhonda,
Yes?
what do you reckon about me going and living with Dora and Kev once they get married?
Oh, I don't know. You worried about it?
Yeah, sort of. I know we're good mates and all that, but
It'd be a
somehow...
bit like having your in-laws living with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get in the way.
Oh, rubbish. You know how Doreen feels about you. You are like a mother to her in lots of ways, excepting you haven't been round all her life. I think she wants you for moral support, if nothing else. Even if you do get in the way from time to time.
Who gets in the way?
Well, not you, and that's for sure. Eat and run, that's all you do these days. And leave the lights on all over the place.
I turned out the light.
Good for you.
How long's it going to be, Lizzie?
Couple of minutes.
See? Eat and run. No time for us anymore.
Oh, sorry, but you know how it is.
Where you going, Dor? Somewhere nice?
Only over to Kevin's place.
Well, don't you be home late. That Mr. Gilbertson, the solicitor's come to see us both in the morning.
Oh, yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Gee, if we'd only let those two ladies stay that night they came here asking for help.
Now, don't start that again. How could we know it'd end in tragedy? We're not mind readers, are we?
You've only been in here 5 minutes. How do you know what they're like, eh? I mean, really like.
I'd say they're no better or worse than a million heavies all over the world, in or out of prison.
Maybe, but Margot and her tribe are in here, in this prison, and they're buying support. Sooner or later, they're going to have us with our backs to the wall.
Oh, get your finger off the panic button, Chrissy. They're not going to get anyone.
It's a bit late to say that, isn't it?
If Margot can buy support with a few lousy fags and a bit of chocolate, don't you think I can buy it back with what I have?
You mean have?
I mean have.
You got more stuff in here? Well, how come the screws...
Not in here, not right now, anyway. But I will have.
Oh, come on, Sharon. The screws are working overtime, checking everything coming in and out of here. You couldn't get a fag paper through here?
I'll get it through. Or at least Judy will.
Oh, you'd have to be joking. She missed the last drop or didn't make it at all.
You're forgetting that she's in love with me. And if she thinks she's losing me to someone else, then she'll do anything to win me back, including risking her aging jealous neck to get me what I want.
You've still got to make contact with her. Your visiting rights have been suspended indefinitely.
I'll find a way. Don't worry.
You better make it quick, before Margot buys up the old bloody prison.
Yeah, well, by the end of the financial year, I should have about another 600 saved, and then I reckon I'll get about 200 back from the tax return. So that should give me, us, a total of $2,500, right? Now, take off about 400 for the wedding reception.
Oh, but I'll cover that.
What?
The wedding. And we won't need $400. It's going to be small. Just a few friends, remember?
Yeah, but at least let me pay for it.
No, you've got to save up to buy your own truck, so you save your money and I'll pay for the wedding. And a few other things we might need.
Hang on, what are you thinking of buying?
Oh, just a few odds and ends.
Oh, we can make do with what we've got, can't we? Look, Doreen, just because you've come into a bit of a windfall doesn't
What
mean
do
you
you mean windfall?
your inheritance, you know.
Who told you about that?
I don't know, you must have.
I didn't.
All right, you didn't.
So it must have been Lizzie.
Yeah, it was Lizzie, and I'm sorry I mentioned it.
Why?
Because she asked me not to.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose she wanted you to tell me yourself or something. Come to think of it, why didn't you tell me?
Well, after what happened before, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't... How long have you known?
What's it matter? I'm not marrying you for your money if that's what's worrying you.
Well, did you know before or after you asked me to marry you?
Before?
It had nothing to do with you proposing to me.
Doreen, look, I asked you to marry me because I love you. I couldn't give a damn about what you have or haven't got. Look, if I was after you for your money, do you think I'd be slaving my guts out trying to save up for a truck? Come here.
No, I don't suppose you would.
Dor coming in for breakfast?
Are you joking? When would she ever miss her food?
I'm sure I heard her crying when she came home last night. I just know that there's something... Oh, hello, love. Did you have a nice time last night?
Not bad.
What'd you do?
Oh, I talked, made plans. Kevin's going to buy a truck.
That's nice.
Yeah. Hey, Rhonda, do you know what time Angela gets into her office?
I haven't the faintest idea, Dor.
Yeah, I want to find out how long this probate thing takes.
Well, what's the hurry?
Well, the sooner it's fixed up, the sooner Kevin and me can move into the house.
Kevin know about the house door?
Of course he does. Because you told him, didn't you? Oh, it's okay, Lizzie. He would have found out himself sooner or later. I just wish it had been later, that's all.
Oh, good, Dor. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to let it out. It just slipped
It's
out
all
that
right,
night.
Lizzie, honest.
You sure?
Sure, I'm sure. Anyway, now that it's all out in the open, I can't see any reason why we shouldn't speed things up a bit and me and Kev can move into Mum's house straight after the wedding.
Dor, why the sudden rush?
What, to get married?
Yeah.
Why not? The sooner it's done, the sooner I'll find out if he's marrying me for the house and the money.
Dor, Kevin isn't just after your money.
Yeah, that's what he said last night.
Then believe him, trust him. You can't go into marriage with doubts, otherwise you'll mess the whole thing up. So give it a fair go, won't you, love? Eh?
Yeah, I'll try, Lizzie. I'll try.
Miss Bennett, is the new roster taking in the fence lines? Could you have it roneoed and posted, please?
This is spreading us a bit thin, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but it's the best I can do, I'm afraid.
Excuse me, I'm Hugh Gilbertson, solicitor for Mrs. Williams and Mrs. Simpson.
Oh, how do you do? Jim Fletcher, Deputy Governor. How's it going?
Well, I'm afraid I can't discuss the case with somebody not directly involved, you understand?
Yes, of course.
Mind you, I do have a proposal to put to both of them which could speed things up.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, what if you'd care to sign in? Miss Bennett, if you'd care to take Mr. Gilbertson to the interview room, I'll fetch Simpson and Williams.
This way.
Thank you.
But why do you want me to plead guilty to manslaughter?
You'd get a much lighter sentence.
But I'd be convicted.
Well, as I see it, Mrs. Simpson, the alternative is much less promising. Give a jury only the murder charge to go on, and they must bring in a verdict of guilty against you. You see, the inescapable fact is that you stabbed your father in the back. Now, prima facie, that is murder. Even with the mitigating circumstances taken into consideration, you'd be found guilty, and your mother would then be an accessory to murder, for which there is a pretty stiff penalty.
Are you saying that if I plead guilty to manslaughter, they'd drop the charges against my mother?
I'm saying that if you follow my advice, you'll both be out of here on bail in no time at all. You, Mrs. Simpson, will be convicted of manslaughter with, in all probability, a suspended sentence. And there's every chance that the case against your mother would be dismissed. She'd be a free woman.
Can you guarantee?
No, of course I can't guarantee it. But I stress once again, the alternative.
Very well, Mr. Gilbertson. I'll accept your proposal.
Thank you, Mrs. Simpson. I'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Well, he looks pretty pleased with himself.
Yes.
Things going well with the case, then, are they?
Yes, they are, thank you, Mr. Fletcher, though I don't really think it's any of your business. Now, would you mind escorting us back to our cell?
Yes, of course.
Come on, Mum. And I'll thank you to keep your hands to yourself in future.
Well, strike me lucky. Lunch. About bloody time, too.
Stop complaining,
Now, who's complaining? Oh, not salad again.
Who isn't complaining?
Oh, yeah, I know. Listen, how's it been going with that Sharon, Sheila, I mean?
Not too good, I'd say. Margot and her mob are up to something. They've been handing these out like there's no tomorrow.
Any strings?
Oh, just the usual stuff. Stick with me, kiddo, and you'll be okay.
Oh, and what's Margot trying to pull?
She's trying to move in on Sharon's drug scene.
Oh, well, Margot's got more brains than I gave her credit for. Pity it's not going to pay off for her.
What do you mean?
I have a few schemes of my own, and everything is going according to plan. I reckon by about this time tomorrow, Mrs. Davison's going to be ready to talk turkey. And then...